verse 17. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. When he built the city, he called the name city after the name of his son Enoch. Okay, knowing, yes, we've seen it in the first verse as well. Adam knew Eve. Here, Cain knew his wife, his sister, in other words. Yeah, it is just, they had intercourse. This is the way, knowing that final knowledge, kind of very intimate knowledge. Okay, I mean, really that's how in the Bible it speaks. Not the only way thou do use the word know, to know is not always intercourse, right? Okay, but it is a way of speaking about it. And so they had a grandson, Adam had the grandson Enoch. Yes, later on the eldest son of Reuben, who was Jacob's oldest son, was named Enoch as well. So the eldest son of both Adam and then Jacob, the oldest grandson at least, his name was Enoch. Maybe there's a reason why Reuben gave the name, and if so, it might be a bad reason. But, we will get to it maybe in the future, later on in Genesis. So yes, first grandson, and now the city built. Okay, so again, I already explained that's not a contradiction. God didn't say you will be a wanderer from humanity, but from Him. Okay, so He's a wanderer. You can be a wanderer from God even living in a city. Okay, again, like I said, all humans are sinners, wanderers, and haters of God. And the majority of humans live in cities. Okay, now I know certain countries less than 50% of the country, but in more developed countries, yes, the majority of people in those countries live in cities. Okay, so that's not, they're all still sinners, they're all still dead, and so all soul wanderers and fugitives from God. Right. Now, yeah, we don't exactly know if Enoch is the one who built the city, or if Cain is, a word thing there. That's not so important. The city is built, and it's either the son built it and he named it after himself, or Cain built it and he named it after his son. Whichever way is possible. He tried to, leave a legacy. Right? We all want to leave a legacy. We see our children as our legacies. I wish we would have seen not our children as our legacies, but maybe our love of God, our worship of God, our devotion to God as our legacy. I think that might be, sure, your children will then partake of it, right? But not the child per se, because in that sense you put a heck of a lot of stress on your child by like trying to think what this your child or son or daughter needs now to do everything that you can achieve or something like that. Not doing them a favor. But here, trying to leave a legacy, building a city, naming after the son. Okay, is it going to do any good? No. Okay, to Enoch was born Irad, and Irad fathered Mehujael, and Mehujael fathered Methuselah, and Methuselah fathered Lamech. Okay, so a lot of the names in chapter 5 from the line of Seth is going to be the same or very close to the names in this list. Okay, now that does not mean that they had only one list and then they sort of made a mistake somewhere over it. Gee whiz, people do give their children from different lines the same names. It happens today. So I don't see that's the problem. Okay, right? Maybe their idea of names, the pool of names to choose from wasn't that big yet. So that's absolutely to say that is mean the two lists or the same list used in different words, kind of. I would just say that's clutching at straws kind of. Okay, the one important thing just that you see from these verses, the fact that we don't see how old Cain was when he bore his son Enoch. In the name list here, this descendants of Cain, one thing we don't find is we find in the line of Seth in chapter 5 is the ages. They don't state the age. They don't state the age, how long Cain lived, how long the others lived. Right, it's not mentioned. It's not mentioned how old they were when they gave birth. It's just mentioned who gave birth to whom, who gave birth to whom, who gave birth to them. No numbers involved. Okay, now what is the reason for that difference? And most likely because
in the Old Testament, long life, and I mean even still today, people see if you live long and you're like blessed by God, okay, more blessed. So if you're healthy and have a good life, kind of idea, blessed by God. If not, then kind of you're not. Okay, so long life seen as a blessing of God. So since everything in those days was still very good, the atmosphere was still very good, the nature was still very good, the genes of the people, so they could live long lives. So if these guys lived long lives and it was stated, then some people might have interpreted this as God's blessing on them. Well, this is not to do with God's blessing. So in other words, it's not the concept of what Moses did not want to have in the mind of people this idea that God was blessing them. Okay, so therefore it's not mentioned. Most likely the reason. Okay, verse 19. And Lamech took 2 wives. The name was Ada and the name of the other Zillah. Okay, so here after Eve is only the second, like the second female that we meet. I mean, understandably, Cain married, so there were, but no names mentioned. Okay, so now we get names here, Ada and Zillah. The reason, most likely, was to introduce the children, right, than so much the mother's kind of idea. Okay, so verse 20, Ada bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in tents and have livestock. Now, in this part of the world, still even today, Bedouins going around with their flocks, still a big thing. Okay, they're still in Israel and in other areas, countries in that part of the world. So yeah, this kind of lifestyle, Job was basically a Bedouin in a sense. Okay. With the livestock, etc. Okay, so this Jubal was therefore an important person Jabal, not Jubal, for them. Verse 21, his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all those who played the lyre and the pipe. Now here we have music. Okay, it's like the first music, playing the pipe. I don't know which kind of pipe, anyhow, lyre or whatever that. Okay. The introduction of music coming from Cain's side, kind of the bad side, to put it like that. The question is, I would say, like, is Bedouins and evil because tending livestock? Abel tended livestock and he was kind of good, Is music then from the devil because it comes from the line of Seth, from Cain? No, I think sure not. Okay, because I already said Abel tended flock, he was not evil. So why would these afterwards then now come, who does what Abel did and be called evil? Music, right? There's nothing wrong with music. I know some churches they only sing a cappella, right? But even if they sing a cappella with only voices involved, voices can be harmonized. That is music, right? A cappella music, you can make it sound as if there's really instruments involved, although there are no instruments. Okay, so the whole point more here is, I would say it's more general grace of God. Okay, it is showing that these people are rejected by God, right? Because they reject God, right? Cain killing his brother rejected God from the beginning, always rejected God, never repenting. Right, but God gave him grace by in the sign, or the mark that he won't be killed by others. Right, and so I think what God is trying to show then here is, yes, these things come from that line, but it's not because of it's because of God's grace. I still allow for them to come up with something that's good. Okay. Atheists can still donate money to orphanages, and sometimes atheists donate more money to orphanages than Christians. Okay, Buddhists donates lots of money, Muslims donates money, people donate money. Okay, non-Christian people donate a lot of money. Right, non-Christian people came up with lots of beautiful things. okay, in life with scientific advancements, still even today, right? If there's a scientific advancement in how to treat, say, cancer or something that comes from a non-Christian, would that then make it bad? Would you reject it, this kind of treatment, because a non-Christian came up? No, you won't. It's grace. So God is showing through this, not that music is evil, not that tending livestock or the Bedouin life is evil, but that even though they reject me, I will still show them my grace. And that's the idea of general grace. God is bigger than us. His grace is bigger than our sin. Okay. Verse 22. Zillah also bore Tubal-Cain. He was a forger of all instruments of bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Okay, so you have the third son here. Jabal, Jubal, and Tubal-Cain. Tubal-Cain and Sammy Cain mentioned there again of Cain, their forefather. And he is the forger of all instruments of bronze and iron. Okay, it does not say here all weapons. Okay, bronze was invented by humans first and then only iron later, right? So, yeah, weapons, yes, sure, we make weapons from bronze and iron, or at least the swords and everything they could make from that. Was this all? You can make other things from bronze and iron as well. Okay. So yeah, that does not imply. Somebody asked me yesterday concerning atoms, right, in heaven. Are we going to know what's going to be in the heaven and the earth? Well, we have atomic energy station or something like that, right? Why not? But that's not under discussion now. The point is, iron can be used for good, but iron can be used for bad. Same for bronze. What do you use it for? Okay, so it's not that they made weapons and started killing each other, most likely. Okay, but at the same time, it can be used for hunting to get more meat. So you have more meat, you can have more children, you can feed more people. It need not be bad. Okay, again, general grace of God. Okay, and here we see the first mention of a girl being born, a name of her, right? Okay, I mean, we know girls were born, sure. Okay, but now she's named Naamah. The other, just a very quick important thing I just want to mention here, 3 sons, right? 2 different wives, 3 sons. Okay, Jabal, Jubal, and Tubal-Cain. We're going to see the same thing later on with Noah, right? Sem, Cain, and Japheth, 3 sons. Okay, being born. So that is like how the line ends there before the flood. This is how the line ends here. So kind of most likely as well why they are mentioned, to get that same number, 3, 3. And we know the number 3 is the Trinity, right? A God number. Okay. So again, in this we see the grace of God, but we're going to see the evil in that line. So although God is doing everything from His side to bless them, they're doing everything from their side to kill and destroy. Again, not God the problem. We, humans, we are the problem. But we tend to always blame God, right? Yeah. Okay, now why Tubal-Cain? I mean, the name of the sister is mentioned here. We don't know, Naamah. Because the other thing we see here is bigamy, right? Not polygamy, because only 2 wives. If they had more, no, he had 2. Bigamy. Okay. From the beginning, one man, one wife. That's how it's supposed to be. Bigamy is wrong. Okay. Is it mentioned here as well to show that how they destroyed this concept of marriage by having 2 wives? Maybe. Right. You find this on the wrong side. Yes, later on, Abraham is going to have more than 1 wife. Jacob, more than 1. They all had more than 1 wife. David, more than. Solomon, thousands of them. Well, not thousands, but 1,000, kind of. I know lots of that is just for political reasons. So in that sense, yeah, were they then right in having more than 1 wife? No, they were not. They were wrong. Okay? Because they were sinners. So, yeah, bigamy is wrong. That's not the original intent of God. And so we see this in the wrong line here.